Hey guys, welcome back to another album review. Today I'm going to be continuing the Slipknot discography reviews. This was requested quite a while ago and it's been requested multiple times, but here is my review for Iowa by Slipknot. And this is the band's second album and I really do love it. It's very highly praised, but I think it deserves to be for the most part. The Iowa era was later described by the band as the darkest time of their career. Even if this isn't actually my favorite Slipknot album, it has tons of great chaotic elements to it, and it's a very good gateway into heavier genres like death metal, you know? Because I'm such a huge Slipknot fan, death metal really wasn't that much of a learning curve for me when it comes to music taste. I will be discussing this album track by track like normal, starting with track 1, which is 515, and that is the area code of like Slipknot's hometown in Des Moines, Iowa, and I'm pretty sure that's why they titled it that. And there's an interesting backstory to this little intro with a bunch of screeching and screaming in it with Sid. I think that what it was is his grandfather like passed away, and like as soon as his grandfather passed away, they got him in the studio and was like, hey, we need you to scream on this song. So then he like freaking freaked out in the song and they recorded it and put it in the song. I don't think it really adds that much. It does transition into track 2, which is People Equal and yes, it's an edgy title, but this song is a fan favorite, and probably because it's a great way to open up the album on a song that really calls back to self-titled a lot, but it's more heavy than self-titled, I'd say. I like how even though the chorus is repetitive, they kind of add these backup vocals where Corey is saying, "What you gonna do, 'cause I'm not afraid of you." That whole thing I think adds quite a bit to the song, and I really do like it. Track 3 is Disasterpiece. This is another fan favorite, mostly for its opening lyric, which I'm not going to recite right now. It has a pretty good standard verse, and it's a very heavy one. The way they executed the quick rhythm in the beginning of the chorus is a bit annoying to me, I will be honest. The drums, I do appreciate how difficult they are to play in this song, like Joey is really killing it in this one, but it's really off-putting. It's probably intentional because Corey is singing the lyric, noises, noises, people make noises when they're sick. They had to make as much noise as possible during that lyric, I get it, but I don't like how it sounds right there. It's extremely overrated and overpraised. Very cool title though, Disasterpiece. Track 4 is My Plague. This song had its very fair share of success with it being featured in the third Resident Evil movie, and this is the first time on the album, besides that little part in Disasterpiece's bridge, that there's actually clean melodic singing. And it's one of the more radio-friendly ones on here because the chorus is pretty much all clean vocals, but there is a very heavy groove to it. I really do enjoy it, and the song is really balanced. It has a lot of variety, it's extremely enjoyable to listen to. The lyrics show some depth here and are some of the best on the album. And it is definitely one of my favorites, and it has been since I first heard this album. Now, track 5 is Everything Ends, and the second Corey mutters that opening line in a very irritated tone, you're getting yourself into a very heavy track full of raw, unfiltered rage, and that rage, along with the really big chorus, is what makes it my absolute favorite on Iowa. And one of my favorite Slipknot songs in general, probably in my top 3, or if not my top 3, then at least my top 5. And the lyrics are extremely dramatic, yes, but they're raw and real and they serve its purpose very well. The guitars in the bridge just explode into larger-than-life heights after Corey screams the word suffer, and the riffs are some of the catchiest on the album, but they don't lose their chaos and their heaviness by any means. And this has got to be the angriest breakup song I have ever heard in my life, and I really do love it. And that leads into track 6, which is the Heretic Anthem, and hands down, this is the edgiest, most angsty song Slipknot has ever written, I think. I didn't start liking this song at all until this year, when the repetitive chorus actually started to grow on me, because of its catchiness, really, and it is very repetitive. Overall, it fits perfectly with Iowa. It blends with the other songs too much, I think. The bridge sounds like the song that just came before, and then the verse sounds like the first opening song, and yeah, it is one of my least favorites for sure. I don't really care for that much of it. Track 7 is Gently, and the title of this song kind of contradicts the content of this song in a way. Not to sound like a hipster or anything, but I do very much prefer the demo version of this song, found on Mate Feed Kill Repeat, over this, even though I like Corey Taylor as a vocalist way more than Anders Colsefini. I just think the instrumental was executed a lot darker on that album, and Anders' really deep kind of bass voice really does fit the song more than Corey's kind of middle-of-the-road baritone voice. The beginning of the song is one of the very few moments on the album where it significantly slows the pace down, except for the title track, which we'll get into in a while. And I think that the extreme buildup of this song towards the climax really fits well, and I'm really glad it's as long as it is. They really gave it time to build up. And the guitar riff found halfway into the song is very great and catchy. It's a very good song. Track 8 is Left Behind, and this is one of the first songs I actually heard on the album because it was the most successful single, and probably the lead-off single too, if I'm not mistaken. There's quite a bit of clean singing in this song compared to most of the others. It's executed brilliantly by Corey Taylor. He's got a very good rasp in his voice when he wants to have it, but he can also sing extremely clear and melodic, and along with the signature screams we all know and love, he has a lot of versatility in his voice, I think. And the opening guitar riff is very unique and extremely recognizable for a reason, and it's for sure one of the strongest songs on here. I also think the main guitar riff here very much inspired the song The Latest and the Last by Demon Hunter. Track 9 is The Shape, and talking about Demon Hunter, this song reminds me of I Have Seen Where It Grows from Demon Hunter's self-titled album. The main guitar riff kind of sounds alike, I think. This song is pretty underrated actually for Slipknot, and it does frustrate me a little bit because it's actually one of my favorites. It's probably like my second or third favorite on this album. The song has a very tame verse. It's very interesting how slow it is and minimalistic, but it leads amazingly into the half-clean, half-screamed chorus. And this song is more diverse, it explores more sounds than most of the songs on this album, which I appreciate a lot. And I really think the song has the best guitar riffs on the whole album. Track 10 is I Am Hated. This song immediately launches into the very nu metal style verse with Corey's rapping and speaking. And the chanted vocals, the back and forth shouting, makes this song an anthem of sorts, and a very strong point on the album. Unlike most of the album, this song focuses more on vocals than guitars, and it's very interesting to see actually. The bridge has a very good heavy rhythm to it, and the way that Corey is kind of singing it very much is on time perfectly with the guitars, and the guitars are serving more as percussion in a way because they sound so rhythmic. It's probably one of my favorite bridges on Iowa. And even though this song is great, unfortunately it doesn't even last a full 3 minutes. It's more like a short-lived explosion of raw energy, and it is one of my favorites. Now, track 11 is Skin Ticket, and I believe this is actually the first song I heard off this album. I heard the 2005 live version. I have to say I do kind of think the studio version and the live version are almost at the same level when it comes to how good they are. And this song, unlike I Am Hated, is a very long, drawn-out song, and it's very slow-paced with some heavy riffs that really ring out. And there are hardly any lyrics in the song, actually. And the lyrics that are in the song are repeated quite a bit. Corey's vocal style in the very creepy, quiet verse can be described as speaking, I guess, followed by this purposely shaky singing that gradually builds up into the screaming and the huge chorus. The song has a very non-traditional structure to it, which I do enjoy, and it's a great song. Track 12 is New Abortion. This song starts off with a sort of warbling effect that doesn't necessarily go with the guitars, but it gives this opening some personality and character. The higher pitched guitars fits the song just perfectly, and the chorus is one of my favorites on the album. I love the effect they put on Corey's voice, and everything about this song is extremely well put together and amazing. The ending is really good, and in case you couldn't tell yet, this is another one of my favorites actually. I also thoroughly enjoy the lyrics. Track 13 is Metabolic, I'm pretty sure it's called. Very interesting opening to this one, with Craig's kind of sampling. The guitar riff is extremely energetic, and Joey is just going crazy on the drums like normal. Man, I really do miss Joey. This song really works well on the second half of the album. I think it gives it a bit more energy because Skin Ticket and the closing track are so mellow compared to the others. It has a very good chorus, I'd say. I really enjoy it, strangely, when Slipknot is repetitive in their choruses. I think it actually works well for them. And yeah, I really like how the chorus is repetitive. Strangely, I do like that part of it. Track 14 is the title track, Iowa. I have to talk about this, okay. What an experience it is to listen to this song. It is crazy. It's 15 minutes long. It has a very gradual, bass-driven opening, and random kind of background noises that sound kind of creepy. And Corey Taylor is losing his mind in this song, kind of like he did in Scissors, only worse. It's a very strange, creepy song. The whole thing is just a huge build-up to a climax, basically. Once you hear the backstory to this song and the recording of it, you're gonna see the song in a whole different way, because apparently, during the recording of the song, apparently he stripped and got pieces of glass and started cutting himself with pieces of glass during the recording, which is why when he screams in this song, he sounds like he's actually in pain. That's because he was. It's messed up. I like the song for what it is, but I definitely have to be in a certain mood to listen to it. Overall, I enjoy this album a whole lot. There are a lot of big, standout tracks. Even if the couple of the songs in the first half of the album tend to blend together, the lyrics are even more intense and profane than on Self-Titled, and it pushes the boundaries a lot when it came to the heaviness and brutality of it. I'm gonna have to give it a very strong 8 out of 10. And you might think, wait, this is one of your favorite bands. Why are you giving it only an 8? Why aren't you giving it a strong 9 or even a perfect 10, Well, it's because it's not perfect by any means. There's also the fact that I'm a lot stricter with my album scorings than I used to be when I started reviewing albums back in May of 2017. I used to give everything a 9 back then. Sometimes the lyrics do get on my nerves a little bit. Sometimes the guitar riffs blend together too much, and sometimes that annoys me. But then, sometimes the repetitiveness can also be seen as a positive thing. It kind of depends on how you look at it, I think. Overall, I think it's a very good album. It is one of my favorites by them. And so, I want to hear what you thought about this album. You probably liked it if you're on this review. And so now I am going to do the Slipknot discography reviews. Next will be Volume 3, the Subliminal Verses. And then I'll review All Hope Is Gone, then The Gray Chapter. And then I'll make a ranked video on Slipknot albums ranked worst to best. And so, stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.